That was, maybe we could talk about this real quick. It'd be our last topic. That Instagram model that was killed, Mercedes Moore.
Yeah.
Like, to talk about the importance of, like, we don't know the full story with her, but the importance of just being low key on social media. Like, people are so obsessed with oversharing, and so am I. I'm not gonna act like I'm innocent. I overshare a lot. But one thing I do always do, like one thing I've always done for years, that I, like, even though I overshare, that I've been consistent with, is not posting where I'm at when I'm there. I always post the next day. I'll be like, this is my recap of my weekend. Or I'll post when I'm already home. Tag locations. You don't know, that's crazy people. Like, you could be a regular person and have a crazy person who just came across your page that found you and is like obsessed with you.
Yeah. That's why I was just like, I'm on a need to know basis with anything. I'm not sharing.
You don't need to know where I live.
You don't need to know where I live. You don't need to know what I drive. You don't need to know where I work. You don't need to know anything. Honestly, us even doing this podcast is like a big deal for me because I don't even talk this much, really.
Yeah.
So
like, you're only like this with like friends and family. Like, people who actually like are close to you. Like,
so yeah, just and I'm not familiar with what happened in the situation, so I'm not saying that she did this specifically, but it's just one of those things you just got to be aware.
It's like the Pop Smoke situation. Like,
people are watching.
like,
Whether you're posting, famous or not.
Like it was the same, like the Pop Smoke thing, like him posting the getting Amiri, or like, what was it? Was it Amiri?
It was Amiri Jeans.
Or Dior.
It was Amiri.
Okay, it was Amiri, yeah. Like, people zooming in. Like, people are waiting for a moment where they could be like, ooh, here's a clue to where he lives. Him being in front of the house, like where he took the picture of the car, you kind of see the numbers, like, and he's famous, and he wasn't even aware of that. Like, he was so caught up in the lifestyle, and people do that all the time. They'll be so gassed about what they're doing or where they live that they'll literally be telling the whole world. And like, you gotta protect yourself at the end of the day. There's crazy weirdos out here, and there's haters out here too.
That's why one person, when I think it was Academics, got his new house. I think it's the house that he's in now. This was maybe a couple years ago, or maybe this was recent. Maybe moved into, because I have a bad perception of time. I don't know how long ago it was, but he was showing it on live or something, or it's Twitch or something. It was showing it. Oh no! It wasn't Academics. Sorry, it was Yachty. Yachty bought a new house, and then he also bought the house next to it. So for security purposes, and make sure he doesn't have any neighbors. Fly. That's how you spend your money. Yeah. That's comfort. That's spend your money on not on jewelry and stuff like that. And Yachty has a lot of money off of all of his endorsements he's had. And the person that he was on, this was on IG Live, and then the person that he was on IG Live was like, yo, don't show the back, because he was about to show the other house. He was like, no, don't show the backyard, because people are gonna be able to put two and two together.
And it's like, a lot of people don't have that mindset. Like, clearly that person did and was watching out for him. Yeah. But you don't even think about that stuff. Like, it could be something so simple like that.
And people, because what the thing is, people are psycho. I'm not one of these people. People have burner accounts and stuff on social media. Like, that's so sick to me. Like, that's such a wild thing. Like, you make a whole new account just so you can watch what other people are doing. Yeah. And people should look at all these accounts that don't have profile pictures. You don't know who's behind these things. I just saw a thing the other day where somebody made like a fake profile acting as like a 13-year-old girl or something.
That's creepy.
And they were a boy. But wait, they did it for a good purpose. They were doing it to attract pedophiles, and this was in Brazil. And maybe this wasn't.
They were trying to take them down.
And I don't know if this was real, but I just happened to come across it. But yeah, it was a little kid. Smart, then. It was a little kid it was like a 14-year-old boy acting as a 13-year-old girl. Yeah. Attracted this pedophile. He came over to the house, and the little kid beat him. Like, wow. Brazil. I don't know if people are familiar. Brazil is not one of those places. Wild place. So it's like all these burners, and you don't know who's who.
You know what's crazy? I don't look at my story views. Like, I don't know if you do. I really don't care. Like, people are weird. I feel like it's not really weird, but some people are so like pressed to see who's watching their story and stuff. I don't really care. I don't even look at my views. I post, but it would be kind of a good thing to maybe once in a while go check to see, like, if you have one of those faceless accounts in your views. Cause that will be like, then it's like, all right, who is this? It's either somebody who I used to know, or somebody who used to be cool with creeping on me, or it's a crazy person.
Yeah, and either way, like,
either way, it's weird.
That's a very real thing. Like, it's so weird to me. Like, people are so psycho. Like, I don't know what it is, like, with this internet thing is definitely,
It's
it's just
scary.
like an evil thing. Like, why are you making fake accounts to go look at what somebody else is doing? Like, and to know that somebody cares that much that they're gonna, well, let me
Take
switch
the
to this
time.
account and watch this because I want to see what this person is doing. Honestly, and this is full disrespect, anybody that does that, even if you're watching it, you're like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, and you should probably go seek some help. Like, for real. Because that's not normal. That's like weird behavior, and
Yeah.
people like that are the reason why John Lennon is dead.
Yeah, or like that girl I was saying about that day, Christina Grimmie. Like that girl, I think she was a YouTuber who became an artist and like got killed at her own meet and greet.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even big.
Yeah, and you never
And
know.
that's just go to show you don't even have to be like super famous to have a crazy person.
As long as you have something more, even if you don't have something more, if you have something that somebody wants, you don't know who.
And
Because
the guy was just weird. It was kind of like the John Lennon situation. Like he was like a
there
fan.
was a fan, and he just
It
felt
was like
like
an extreme fan.
somebody
like,
said that something in his head was like, "I need to kill you," and
yeah,
he killed him
and that's what. But
in front of his crib.
Girl.
In front of his crib, by the way, he was on his way home and was about
Yeah.
to go upstairs. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Beatles,
Yeah,
I think Yoko was upstairs. I think she like heard the shot.
it's just scary.
Yeah.
And
But-
and that's the thing. Like that we're trying to emphasize. Like you don't even have to be famous or rich. You could just be a person. Like a guy might just be obsessed with you as like a woman, just like obsessed and feel like he needs to kill you because he knows he can't get you, so he just wouldn't want you to be out here and he'll just kill you.
Yeah, and God, there's so much to unpack here. For those guys that, because I see some women will post the wild things that get sent in their DMs.
Yeah,
That also is not like, maybe it's funny. I don't know if people find that comical,
yeah. They like reposted,
but it's not funny.
Like that's actually like crazy. Cause that just happened. I was watching Lala's story. The YouTuber who's dating Lil TJ.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Lala Anthony.
No, like Lala. I was watching,
Baptiste.
like she was posting something, and like some guy commented back something that's crazy, like, oh, he was like, Lala, you know what? Like, this is why I hate you. This is why I was just around you the other day while you was at this restaurant in this place all the time. And I was just watching you, and like he's like, I really do hate you, and like I said, like I'm gonna just keep stalking you, and like it was like a laughing emoji. And she reposted her story, and she was like what the heck, like what is this? But it's like that's not really funny. Like I don't think she was laughing, but it's like I wouldn't even repost that because that guy is gonna see you repost it. Like if it's not on his page, he's gonna have another account. Like he might see that on.
Stuff is very real.
Like and now that might trigger him. And if he really
Yeah.
is stalking you, now he's mad that you just exposed him because she exposed the username too. She didn't cover up anything. Like that's scary.
Yeah. So
And she's not the type to have security. She's the Instagram model.
and to bring it back, like, obviously rest in peace to her. I don't know what the situation
Yeah.
was or what happened, but if it was something along those lines, then this is one of those casualties of social media, and hopefully
People are like aware.
Aware.
Because we're such in a show offy generation where everybody wants to show their house, where I live, home. We do it too. Like we did the apartment tour and stuff. But it's like celebrities and people who have so much more money than us doing that type of stuff. It's like you gotta sometimes people don't need to see where you live.
Yeah.
Like MTV Cribs, that whole thing, and like now we really think about it, like it is kind of scary. Like why did you ask your sanctuary? Like like why?
Most of MTV Cribs was fake though.
True.
They exposed that show. They were like,
It wasn't even their houses.
no, the MTV would get the houses, and just for the views, they would be like, yo, we got you this house. We put this stuff in here for you.
Yeah.
Like come walk around and show us.
Makes sense.
I think it was Redman that like was living at the time like in like a really like rundown thing.
But they had him in like a mansion.
No, like he was
Oh.
like they wanted him to do that. They were like
On purpose.
they were like they came in there. They were like, you live here, and then he was like, yeah. He was like, but he was doing something where he was moving somewhere else,
Yeah.
but he was living in this place, and he never left. I think he's still there to this day, where he was going to transition somewhere else, and he's just I think it was Redman. Because Redman's cool, and he's from Jersey, so shout out to Jersey.
Yeah.
But he just ended up staying there forever, and it's just not even that it was run down, but it's just so modest
Yeah,
that you
like
would
you
think that a
wouldn't-
rapper would have all these cars and these
Yeah.
houses and stuff like that. But just in general, everybody be
Yeah.
careful, and which will lead me to the last topic that I think we're gonna do, and then we can wrap up. But I feel like most people with money, these celebrities, they don't know how to spend their money right, and they spend their money on stupid stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we was talking about this because of Polo G's mom.
Yeah, and this is
Like-
not saying Polo G specifically spends his
Yeah.
money stupidly,
But just like the fact that his mom wasn't ready in a secure spot, like you having all that money, your mom should not, even if she's in a nice big house, shouldn't be in a situation where she's shooting in a shootout with like robbers.
Yeah.
Like she should be in a gated community, safe. And yeah, still have your gun because those situations still might happen.
Multiple guns.
But like that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, and I was just highlighting when we were speaking about this that people don't put into context the amount of money that they spend on certain things, and to each his own. Some people, like we said, what I would call a vice is clothing. Like I enjoy spending my money on
Like
clothing.
for me, it's shoes and makeup, maybe.
And other people's, when they get rich, might be, I want watches, I want cars, I want all this other stuff. But for those people, and I'm not counting their pockets or anything like that, they need to put into perspective, whether you can afford the $250,000 car or the $500,000 car, whether you can afford that or not is not necessarily like relevant. It's still $500,000 whether you can afford it or not, and that could have went to making sure that somebody else in your family is good, or just not even necessarily donating it, because I'm never going to tell people what to do with their money, but even just certain scenarios like security, or a bigger fence, or just security is important. But even if you don't spend it on security, people should, in my opinion, just understand that $200,000 watch, like that's still $200,000 whether you can afford that or not. And that could have went to so many other things. That could have went to an investment that made you $2 million. It could have been. So
like I feel like it's just like
people don't spend their money right.
They don't spend their money right, and it's like I feel like you should have a priority list. So I feel like if I ever got rich, or whatever, the highest priority is to relocate and be somewhere safe, and for my family to be somewhere safe. Then the second thing would be like investments. I would do some investments, make sure I'm making money. Cars and all that stuff, that's like kind of in the middle lower end, because it's like, I would still want to have a nice car, but it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just because you got $1 million don't mean go buy a Rolls Royce. Like I feel like a lot of people are like that. A lot of rappers that will get their first million, and that's the first thing they go do. You just spent a quarter of that.
Not even a quarter. Well, depending on what you get.
Yeah.
Some of them spend
more than that.
$500,000 for a Rolls, depending on
like
what you get.
They feel like they could afford it. Like no, like don't make stupid decisions like that. And I'm not trying to tell rich people how to spend their money, but it's just you see it so much where so many of these rappers go broke. There's like some artists who were like the biggest at their time, posting GoFundMe links.
Because the thing that people don't tend to understand is that $1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5, even if it's 10 million, you as an artist, that's money that needs to last you until you die, which could end up being you might live to 100, and
you don't got a retirement.
You don't work in these regular benefits. Jobs. You don't have benefits. You don't have pensions. You don't have 401ks. You don't have Roths. You don't have anything. So you have to, if you're in that industry, you have to make that for yourself. That's why I
even feel that way about like sex workers, people who are like strippers or like dancers and all that stuff. I'm sure their jobs aren't giving them 401ks. Like if you're a stripper, like,
of course not.
And they're spending that money thinking like, oh, I'm getting this bag. Like I made like 1,000 tonight. Like you need to set up your Roth on the side. Go set up your Roth IRA. Like, but a lot of people aren't doing that. And like you said, that that money needs to last, and they don't think that. I think they think it's so quick, and they saw how quick they got it, that they think it will keep coming in like that. That they don't realize just as quick as you got it, as quick it will run out.
Yeah. So that's it. Just rappers, spend your money, or just
people in general.
People in general, spend your money better.
People spend their last dime trying to impress somebody else, or trying to live a lifestyle that they can't really afford.
Yeah.